So my kids are not going to be getting smartphones until they're at least 14. Now hear me out, I have my reasons and we have discussed it. Hi, my name's Georgia and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, thank you, because it's only my third video. Now I have my tea and something on it. It's some nice, I think it's called winter warmer because it's a bit cold today. And today I'm going to talk about smartphones and kids. Now, I may have to refer to some notes on my phone here. I have two kids, aged 6 and 9, and my eldest is in 4th grade now, and she'll be heading on to secondary education next year. 2 weeks ago, we had a digital parents' evening, which was online, obviously, being digital. And there was a gentleman who basically spent 2 hours telling us about the dangers of smartphones and how we can best utilize them with our kids if they have smartphones. Now, he had gone to the school that morning and he'd spoken to the whole school, but particularly to the 4th graders. He pulled them out. They had like a 1 or 2 hour workshop, which is pretty cool. I think this is progress. I'm sure kids 5-10 years ago didn't have this, and I think they particularly needed it. Basically, he sat them down. There are about 100 kids in her year, maybe 120 approximately. And this is what he asked. I'm just going to refer here so I don't forget anything. I actually wrote an article for Medium after this because it was so enlightening. Just as a heads up, my daughter doesn't have a smartphone. She does have my old iPhone, which she can have at home, which she watches YouTube on sometimes or plays games, educational or not. It's linked to my phone anyway, and she only uses it at home on the sofa next to me. So there's no secret things. I don't have a TikTok or Snapchat account, just Instagram, which I forget to use, Facebook to sell things on and stay connected to old friends, but all of that really has gone out the window. I don't do social media that much anymore. YouTube really, I tend to watch YouTube videos, but that aside, yeah, she doesn't have a smartphone. She does have a dumb phone, a Medita Pure that I bought from Kickstarter about 3 years ago, and I wanted to tone my habits down on my smartphone, so I ordered this and it took them so long to deliver it I actually ended up cancelling it, and then they delivered it anyway. So Medita people, if you're watching this, I'm sorry I didn't send it back, but you know, you sent it to me, you reimbursed me then sent it to me. So it's an okay phone. It doesn't do everything they said it would do, but all it does is phone and text. Even texting isn't ideal, but that's all it does. It's a dumb phone. It's got like a Kindle screen, so it's not backlit, and so it's nice on the eyes. The battery lasts about 3 days, yet she still doesn't charge it. I have to charge it for her, which is a good, it's a good sign. And she only uses it to call me when I'm running late to pick her up from school and goes, "Mummy, where are you?" So, but it's good to have it. It's good just so she can call. I assumed most kids her age did not have smartphones. I was wrong. Now, when the gentleman asked their class, how many of you have smartphones? Raise your hand. And half the year put their hands up. Half the year, that's about 50 or 60 children, age 9, maybe 10. So this is kind of already a little bit worrying. And then he asked these questions. Sorry, old eyes. How many of you either took your smartphone to bed last night with or without permission of your parents? All of them. How many of you were still awake and on your phone at 9 p.m? All of them. 10 p.m? About half. 11 p.m? About 10 kids. Midnight, about 5 kids. This was a school night. And anyone after midnight? Basically, the remaining 5 went to sleep between about midnight and 3 a.m. One was awake at 3 a.m. No kidding. And this child's teacher, grade teacher, when she saw that this kid had put their hand up, she went, "Now everything makes sense." So this child, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but my daughter told me this. This isn't what the man told us. She told me this. She went, "Oh yes, the teacher said that because apparently this kid's disruptive, can't concentrate." And also the teachers were enlightened that all these kids that were up late on their phones struggle with concentration, struggle with tiredness. So that was the first point. Now, I feel bad if we go to bed at 8:30 or 9 and they'd been watching 1 or 2 hours of TV. I mean, to me, I thought we were the worst parents ever. We live in quite a nice area, and I thought they all have, you know, their Montessori wooden toys and no TVs and do jigsaws at night, because that's what we're led to believe. But the reality is something quite different. So that was enlightening, I mean, really. Now, who are they talking to? This was the scary thing, because they're not talking to each other. They don't have WhatsApp groups yet. That happens more in secondary school as they get to maybe 12, 13, 14. And that I can understand. They want to talk to each other outside of school hours. Now, most of them, I think, were either on YouTube. I think YouTube is a big thing. Or maybe they've got Instagram accounts, they're scrolling. I don't know, they didn't reveal details. But the fact is, they were being kept awake on a school night, and the parents either didn't know it, didn't care. I think the parents didn't know it. I think the kids pretty much snuck them in. They're responsible parents mostly around here, I would say. Well, I thought I was responsible. Turns out I'm more responsible than I realised I was. There we go. I mean, I take my phone to bed at night and I put it on airplane mode under the pillow, and if I can't sleep in the middle of the night, I kind of wake up and sneak and read things on Medium, or I used to go on Reddit. That's how we ended up with a cat, but that'll be a whole other video. Nighttime scrolling, get a cat the next day. So I try to stop it, but sometimes if I have insomnia, if I worry about things, anxiety, because I sleep with my kids, I can't really move and get out of bed easily, so I just get my phone, and it's bad, and I should stop doing it, but I'll get to that point later. Okay, what are they on? We don't know. At this point, possibly not as bad. I think kids are exposed more to slightly dodgy things when they're showing each other things. That's quite often where it happens. Now, one important thing he mentioned was that when kids have their phones, they become addicted quite quickly. This is a lot with the content they're consuming. So YouTube Shorts, TikToks, Instagram Reels, they're all the same essentially. They're very addictive, as we know. You can just swipe away if you're not interested. Your concentration is seconds. If you're not interested in seconds, you swipe away. This doesn't help their school concentration. Long form content is better than short form for all of us, especially for children whose brains are still so developing. Okay, where was I? The important thing is, if you're contemplating getting a phone for your kid, you need to understand that they need to trust you and you need to trust them. There's this whole level of trust and open communication which will make the whole process easier and less painful. Now, the problem is when kids and grown-ups, but especially kids, when they get a phone and when they start communicating with their friends, which will be maybe age 11, 12, you know, some younger, some older, but that's kind of the average he gave. They discuss things outside of school. They discuss friendships. They discuss everything that they would discuss in school. So they're continuing the school life outside. Now, this can be very positive. This can be friendships. This can be discussing everything, things they've watched, homework, other kids, whatever. I mean, I was young once, you know, I don't know what we talked about, rubbish, what we watched on TV last night, I don't know. But the point is, by not having a phone, they miss out. Now, not having one at all isn't as bad as having a phone and then having it taken away, because then the FOMO, fear of missing out, gets really strong. And kids get so addicted to the phones, even social media, whatever they use, Snapchat, that one where you take the picture, take it now, or whatever it's called, I don't know. They sort of need it. It becomes part of their lives and part of their identity. And if they are exposed to anything that is in any way negative, either really dodgy stuff they've seen online, cyberbullying, either witnessing another kid or themselves, or just anything explicit, whatever, if they feel like it's not something that parents would approve of, they won't tell their parents, because they'll be scared of the repercussions of the parents taking away their phone, because that's quite often what happens. What, you saw this? What, this happened? What, you did this? No way, phone taken away. And this is the absolute fear. This is what he said. The fear of having your phone taken away makes them secretive, makes them not tell you what they're looking at. Now, if your kid can trust you and know that you won't take away their phone, then they will be honest, you know, and fostering this open communication and this open, honest relationship where they know they can tell you anything and they won't be punished for it, because quite often they've not done anything wrong. But as parents, we often jump to conclusions. This is crucial for them to stay honest with you. So if they do witness something, let's say cyberbullying of another kid in their class, you kind of do want to know, because you want to know it's happening. You want to tell their parents, you want to tell the school, you want to somehow help, however that is done in your area, in your school, whoever it is. But the point is, it's important that your kid can trust you, and you need to earn that trust, you know, and this trust should already be there. This is the other thing. This trust should already be there, should have been there from when they started talking, basically. So we need to take an interest in our kids' lives. We need to listen to them, respond to them. Don't poo-poo things when they tell you something they're worried about. And you know, I don't know, I can't remember, one of my kids, they got a mark on one of their t-shirts. It was just like, oh no, disaster, terrible, favourite t-shirt, or just something that seems so trivial to us is not trivial to them. If it's important to them when they're small and they come to you and you honour that importance and you're with them and you give them empathy, then they'll come to you with their big problems as teenagers. It needs to start when they're young. I'm sure all you parents know this, but this was a crucial point he said, because if there are any issues later down the line with the phone, they will tell you. If they can't trust you, if you freak out at them, then they won't tell you. That's basically it. Now, monitoring what they're doing on their phone is important to some extent when they're still young, if they get a phone. Now, we don't plan to give our daughter a phone till she's at least 14. We had a conversation, I read something a few years ago about a woman who made a deal with her daughter when she wanted a phone, said, it was in the States, I'll put $50 in an account for every month you don't have a phone, because that's how much the bill was going to be. I mean, I pay €5 a month for her phone bill, which has a gigabyte, but as it's not a smartphone, it doesn't matter. But that seemed a little bit steep, but you know, let's say compromise on €30 a month. I'll put €30 a month into account, and I'll pay that in every month when you don't have a phone. When you're 16, 15, whatever, every year, she can then decide if she wants a smartphone, or I continue paying the money in. And then when she reaches a certain age, 18, 19, leaves school, whatever, and she will then get that money. It could be a few hundred, it could be thousands, depending how long she manages without a phone. I spoke to both my kids about this, and they think it's a great idea. They love saving for things, and they like the idea of having cash in the bank. Obviously, the reality can be different. So we'll have to monitor that one, but 14 is definitely the earliest. Monitoring what they do online when they have a phone. Now, my kids use my YouTube account if they go and watch YouTube shorts or something. I can go in the history and see what they're watching. I can also just look, because she's usually next to me, and the little guy is either playing Minecraft or playing with his Lego. He's still very much a hands-on, physical little boy. He loves playing Lego, he loves to use Playmobil, and he likes watching Minecraft videos and then building things on the Switch in these Minecraft worlds. So he's watching in parallel. So he's learning, and he does amazing things. He built an Apple store a couple of days ago. It was so cute how he created all these things from items in the store, like these 2 pairs of boots he put down this way around so they looked like AirPods. It was adorable. So they're both pretty cool. And also my girl, she'll pause it and go, Mummy, I have a joke for you. Or, did you know? Or, look at this magic trick. So it's cute. It's cute learning. It's not really educational, but it's kind of okay. So we do monitor it, and we do try to actually watch proper television and movies. That's my aim, not just YouTube, because it can just dumb you down. But monitoring when they have their own phones, it would be good if possible to have their account linked to your account, or it's even is your account if it's possible, without getting calls on other devices. So you can just keep an eye on what they're watching, what they're doing, who they're interacting with. Not necessarily just spying on them, you know, tell them, be honest, say, look, this is what we're going to do. when your kids get a phone, sit down with them and go through the phone, show them how it works, or they can show you how it works because they may know more, but go through every app and say this is good because of this, but it's bad because of that, you know, doom scrolling or whatever. So they understand each app and its functions and why they would use it and why they shouldn't use it more than this. It's important that you all understand who's using what, that they don't randomly have apps on there that you don't know about. Again, that's open communication. You know, my kids will never put something on my phone without asking me. So it's important that they respect you enough to ask permission, and also then listen when you say no. Now, the next thing was games. Again, this gentleman asked kids what kind of games they've played. My kids play Minecraft, which is age 10 and above, but they don't play it in survival mode. I think survival mode, they're playing creative mostly, unless they join the same world, but then it's just the two of them in the same world. And again, they don't play with other people. So you keep on top of it, you control it, make sure they're safe. Fortnite, I think, is age 13. That is not cool. A couple of kids in her year play Grand Theft Auto, which is an 18 rated, violent game, you know? So, not cool, you know? Do the parents know they're playing it? Are the parents okay with them playing it? And the same goes for movies, but we are talking about smartphones. So, it's important to know what your kids are doing, what they're playing. Now, he said the interesting thing is, kids that have PlayStations, Nintendo Switches, Xboxes, whatever, games consoles are okay, and games on those games consoles that you purchase are okay, because the company that makes the games has already made their money out of the sale of the game. So they don't need to keep you playing. They don't care if you never play the game because they've made their money. So Minecraft, I know you can buy extra skins, but essentially they've made their money when you bought Minecraft. It's games that are free that are the issue, like Stumble Guys, Roblox is free, and there's so many others, but those are two key ones he mentioned. Because they're free to download, they need to keep you playing because they want you to invest in it. They want you to put money into the game because they need to make money. So they need to keep you playing for longer, therefore they're more addictive, and they have sneaky ways of getting you to buy things and spend money. Now, a lot of parents have their credit cards linked to these accounts, and kids have just bought things without their parents' permission, and they realise when they get the bill, go, huh? What's this? And my daughter even said, yes, this boy in my class said he's already spent 100 euros on this game, and his parents didn't know about it. So, yeah, that's, yeah. Let's just go there. Let's just not go there, in fact. So there are benefits, of course, loads of benefits of smartphones. They're educational, they keep you in contact. We have a cousin in London and they can FaceTime her, of course, and so many other things. They keep them connected. What did I write? They could be a powerful learning tools, helping kids with schoolwork, communication, and expanding their knowledge. Taking away their technology completely would be like not having a TV in the 80s or 90s. Now, my husband didn't have a TV until he was about 11, and back then TV was the technology, and he'd go to school and not know what the other kids were talking about. And then you feel a little bit excluded, you're not in the central circle of kids. It's the same as smartphones. There is a time when every kid really needs a smartphone, but it can be restricted and it can be controlled, and you can keep on top of it. Now, we need to look at our own habits. Our kids will copy what we do. I try not to be on my phone so much. I know I do, but I don't doom scroll like I used to years ago. I would rather read a book, and I try and give a good example and read a book. If they're watching TV, I can't handle the noise anyway from two screens, so I'll just open a book. Not always, but quite often, or just stare out the window. Now, he did put together some ideas, and I added to this, ways to minimize excessive screen time. This is for parents and for children. This is for everyone. And these are some rules we have implemented anyway. We have no toys at the dinner table. We have nothing at the dinner table, which includes phones. If someone comes to the dinner table with their phone, put the phone away. If someone comes with some Lego or a doll, take it away. Dinner is when we sit here, we talk to each other. We don't have enough time together anyway, the four of us. So food, eating, talking, that's what it's about. And everyone respects it. And no one has ever questioned it. No screen time, an hour before bed. we struggle with this one because we're so tired in the evenings. If we tell them to turn the phones off, we then have to entertain them or do stuff with them. So I'm working on this, but we shouldn't go screen bed because our brains are still so wired from the blue light from the things going on, and it can be hard to fall asleep and have good quality sleep. No phones in the bedroom, guilty, but under the pillow. It used to be my alarm clock, that was my reasoning, but now I have an Apple Watch that vibrates to my wrist instead, so I don't actually need to take my phone. I should stop that. Now the idea is everyone puts their phone in a central location before going to bed, so on the table in the kitchen, a bowl by the front door, I don't know, somewhere. If it's not an emergency phone that you desperately need next to your bed, if you need an alarm clock, get an alarm clock. Don't use your phone. Leave it somewhere that's not within reaching distance from your bed. We should keep them away from the bedroom. It's not healthy in any way. So we need to do this, and this is a good bit of advice. And no screen time for at least half an hour after waking up. Now I have my phone on airplane mode, like I said, at night. I often find myself leaving the house, walking to school, walking back from school, getting home, and my husband saying, I couldn't get hold of you. I get my phone out, I took it with me, go, oh, it's still on airplane mode. I haven't checked it, I've done nothing, and it's the best way to start the morning. Basically, see your phone as a lot of people shouting at you. If you wake up and you have your work colleagues and bosses and your friends and your parents and random TV news outlets all shouting at you the minute you wake up, you'd be horrified. And that's what your phone is. You turn your phone on, ping, 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 everyone's in your face. So, just restrict it, just minimize it. Don't check your phone when you wake up. You don't need to check your phone when you wake up. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Much easier. And it's good. I found that very good. Conclusion from all this was, what are they? Smartphones are everything. They are what you make them to be. Basically, we use technology to benefit us, to benefit other people, to hurt other people, to hurt ourselves. We can be self-destructive, going on websites that are not good for us, good for our mental health. We need to be able to control how we use our phones and how we use them and what we consume on them. And we need to guide our children to do the same. We can't tell them what to do, we can guide them. Like in everything in life, we are there to help and guide them through their lives. And the sooner they learn that, and the sooner they learn what a phone is meant to be used for and how they can use it effectively and really to learn and benefit, then that'll be better. Now, I trust my kids, not 100%, but pretty implicitly really. And I want to protect them at the same time. So 14 for me is the cut-off point, but we'll see. It might be earlier. I don't know. I don't think so. It might be later. I hope so. Thanks for watching. I hope it's been slightly informative. Sorry if I rambled. And thank you. See you next time. Cheerio.